Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Brother John Stewart, on behalf of Lost Sheep Ministries, here to take y'all on another little walk with the word for the day. Just got off work, as you can see, still in my work clothes. Just got off work. Got the Lost Sheep Ministry tonight, so it's gonna be a long day today. I got to go down to Dixon, pick the people up, and bring them back. And I'm waiting for my son to get out of work, so I figure I'll get the best use out of my time and go and get me in some steps and go and get my video recorded so I can share this gospel with y'all for the day. So I'm still in the book of Psalms. We're gonna be in Psalms 84, verses 1 through 4. Reading this last night, man, came across these verses, these some beautiful verses, and I just really wanted to share these verses with y'all today. So in the book of Psalms, chapter 84, verses 1 through 4, the Lord tells us this. He said, "How amiable are thy tabernacles, O Lord of hosts. My soul longeth, yea, even fainteth, for the courts of the Lord. My heart and my flesh crieth out for the living God. Yea, the sparrow hath found an house, and the swallow a nest for herself, where she may lay her young, even thine altars, O Lord of hosts, my King and my God. Blessed are they that dwell in thy house. They will be still praising thee." Man, that is such a beautiful verse right there. That is such a beautiful verse, because that's a verse that talks where you can see the heart of someone that truly loves God. You see what I'm saying? When you think about God, whether it's serving God or going somewhere to hear about God, or just the thought of someday being able to dwell in his presence forever, you know what I'm saying? Do you get excited when you think about those things? Do you get excited when you hear that you're gonna have the opportunity to do those things? You know what I'm saying? Do you get excited about it, or do you get the feeling a little dread because it's kind of burdensome to you? You know, it's a burden to get up and go to church on Sundays. Is that the way you feel about church on Sundays? You gotta understand something. David is a man after God's own heart. He said when he found out he got to go to church, David said, I was happy when they said to me, let's go to the house of the Lord. So if you have a burden or a dread anytime it's time for you to do something for God or go somewhere where you're going to hear about God, then you know what that means? You don't really love God. And that sucks to hear that, but that's true. You don't really love God. You know, it shouldn't be a burden for you to get up and go to church on Sundays. It shouldn't be a burden for you to open up your Bible and read every day. It should be a burden for you to have some set time in your schedule so you can hear, so you can pray to the Lord. You know, it shouldn't be a burden for you to spend time telling other people about him. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be a burden for you to do those things. And if it is, that means you don't have really love God, at least the way you say you do. You know, and you have to realize that if you have a burden when you have to do things for God, then that means your relationship with God is more transactional than it is emotional. You see what I'm saying? He's just something that you can get. He's just someone you can get something from. But if you really want to get the goodness of God, you have to love God. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you think about getting to go do something for God, you should get butterflies in your stomach. You know, it's like when the first time you saw your girl, or the first time you saw your guy, you know, thinking about him later on that night, and you get those butterflies. That's what it should be when you're thinking about God, if you really love God, every single time. Because you got to understand, if you don't get to that level where you truly love God, you will never really be able to ever see his goodness. Because when you love God, you're able to accept your all things, and those all things end up working out for good, no matter whether they're good, bad, or ugly. Just like I said, you know, my favorite verse, Romans 8:28, he says, all things work together for good to them that love God. So you really got to love God if you really want your all things to start working out for good. You see what I'm saying? And you look at the author, you can tell he loved God. He loved God to the point where he said, I fainteth for the course of the Lord. I fainted. He, you know what I'm saying? He heard he got to go to, he was going to get to go to church, and he fainted. He, you know what I'm saying? He almost fainted for that. You know what I'm saying? That's some love and admiration right there. I mean, I've heard of people almost fainting or fainting because they saw their favorite athlete or favorite celebrity. I've seen videos where people are fainting because they saw Michael Jackson, but I have never heard of anybody fainting because they get to go to church. I've never heard somebody like, hey man, it's Easter Sunday, let's go to church. Oh, and they just pass out. That'll never happen. You know why? Because people don't really love God. You see what I'm saying? They don't really love God. You know, and you notice he said at the end, he said, blessed are they that dwell in thy house. They will be still praising there. That means you're going to be praising God, be in the presence of God and praising God forever. So you got to ask yourself, do you really want to dwell forever with somebody that you don't really love. And if you look at the divorce rate in the United States, I think that's going to be a big no. So you need to develop that love so that when you do get to heaven, you get into your forever, it'll be that much sweeter because you really love God and you get to dwell with him forever. And that is your little walk with the word for the day. So I thank y'all for joining me. If y'all are being blessed by these, make sure you continue to like, repost, tag people, whatever you got to do, share them. As always, public, I appreciate y'all help with that. If you want to hear my full sermons, check me out on Facebook Live, Monday nights at 7 o'clock Standard Time, Facebook Live. And if you want to find my other social media outlets, because I post on YouTube and obviously TikTok and Instagram and all those things, go to lostsheepministries.com and you'll find all my little social media outlets. And of course, if you don't know 100% you're going to heaven when you go through that door called death, reach out to me and let me know. I'll put some time on my schedule so I will go to gospel with you. I love you all. Until next time, peace. Always watch your back and pray. Peace.